Hello guys, and happy October 31st. Today is the day. Today is Halloween, and to celebrate Halloween on my channel, I am going to be doing my 5th and final Halloween makeup look. And as you can probably tell right away, we're not looking at my face this time. We're actually looking at my hands. And this look, I really wanted to try something a little bit different, try something that I have never tried before. I am very used to doing things on my own face, but not really too keen on doing things with other parts of my body as far as special effects go. So I figured today was the day, the year is the year, and we are going to be using this little prosthetic that I got from a store that was simply just called the Halloween store. I'm sure you can find them online, but you know, that's just where I got it. So the first thing I'm doing is I am just placing it on my hand. Now I am placing this on my left hand so I can use my strong hand, meaning my right hand, to do all of this work. And I'm just making sure that I want it here and this is the placement that I want. And because my hands are the size of a 5-year-old child, I do need to cut quite a bit of this down. But I mean, I guess that's a good thing because it could be too small. I'd rather have it be too big and kind of cut down some of the excess skin. And then once I was happy with the size and how it fit on my hand, I went in with some liquid latex. I really would use Prozade for this, but if you guys watched my last Halloween video, it spilled all in my lap. So liquid latex is all that I had. It's very, very messy. It goes everywhere. So on just a little disposable makeup sponge, I am first starting out with a base layer on top of my hand, and then I am putting a little bit more liquid latex on the actual prosthetic itself, kind of spreading it out, and then I'm just using my little tiny fan, which has been such a lifesaver for the Halloween season. Like, it was perfect. And just kind of letting that dry a little bit, waiting for it to get a little bit tacky, and then we are gonna stick it on our hand. Now, since the liquid latex is going to be quite sticky, make sure that you are putting it on and you are putting it on like good right away, or else you're gonna have to be peeling it off and sticking it down again and peeling it off. So make sure you have the placement right the first time. I'm speaking from experience, it'll just end up better that way. But once I finally got it stuck on, it was on there pretty securely and I was pretty happy with it. So then I just kind of took some excess liquid latex and kind of went around the edges a little bit. But I still wasn't quite happy with how it was looking. I wanted it to look a little bit more realistic, so I actually took a cotton ball and just kind of unrolled it to its full size and ripped it in half. And I actually made a little buildup of cotton and latex on each side of the prosthetic. So I had a fresh layer of liquid latex down. I stuck the piece of cotton to one side. I did the exact same thing with the other side of my hand. And then going over that cotton that we just laid down, I am putting more liquid latex over top. I find this part in special effects makeup to be very, very satisfying, but also my least favorite because of how messy and sticky everything is. But I don't know, it's really satisfying. It's almost like paper mache, I guess. letting it dry in between each layer, and this is going to kind of really build up, hide any edges. It's going to add a lot of texture and just a lot more creepiness to the overall look. I know it looks a little bit strange right now, but I promise it all comes together. This is such an effective, easy way to make any makeup look a little bit more realistic. And I was really happy with the way this was starting to look, so I actually decided to add a few more things of cotton on my ring and middle finger. Again, just doing the same thing, sticking down some cotton and going over it with liquid latex, letting each layer dry in between. So here is how it is looking right now, and once everything is completely dry, you let it sit for about 10 minutes. There's no stickiness left. We are going to go over everything with just some translucent setting powder. The setting powder that I am using is just one by CoverGirl, but you can use any one that you want. And this is basically going to kind of set the latex in place, just in case there is any sort of remnants of stickiness left over. This is going to kind of disguise that. And then going over top of that with just some foundation, I'm just using this CoverGirl True Blend foundation. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just gonna kind of really cover up the white of the cotton ball. And that's really all we're trying to do here, because everything else is gonna get covered up with blood, guts, and gore, as you guys saw in the beginning. So just kind of spread it all out. Don't worry too much about messing up the cotton, because the more texture and the more lifelike movement you can give it, the more real it will look, if that makes any sense. And then once all the foundation was on, I went over with a little bit more of the translucent setting powder. And of course, using the leftovers on my table. Can't be wasteful here. And after those steps are done, it is finally time to paint to make it look realistic. I'm using just this cream stack that I got from Spirit Halloween, and I'm using a mixture of the true red, the kind of bruised purple color, and the black. And on just some old makeup brushes that I don't really care too much about, we are going to start painting. So I am taking the most vibrant red, and I'm basically just following the prosthetic. That's like the easiest way to paint something that's already there, is just follow the colors on there. So wherever there was bright red, that's where I would put the bright red paint, and wherever it got a little bit darker to show depth, that's where I put the other two colors. So it's really easy to follow, but also if you're doing this without a prosthetic and you're doing this all from scratch, you could probably just Google a picture and do the same thing. But I'm basically just following the color outline of the prosthetic. Really, really easy to do. If I can do this, anyone can do this. This is a very amateur style special effects makeup, so I promise anyone can do this. So once I had the inside of the prosthetic pretty much all painted and I was happy with it, I went back in with the brightest red cream paint on an old foundation brush and really kind of painted all around where we applied the cotton and the foundation and all that stuff, just really kind of making it look like the whole hand is affected. Really making sure that I'm getting all up in those crevices and making sure that there is no white cotton left to be seen. And I really wanted the bones to kind of stick out in this look, and I didn't want them to get covered up with paint. So I actually went in with this really light cream colored paint from a different cream stack that I got from Spirit Halloween. And on just an old eyeshadow brush, I went over the bony looking things that would be our real bones if this were a real thing. And just kind of went over them, and it really kind of boosted up the white color. So once the painting is all done, it is time to make it look nice and juicy and bloody. And of course, the very first thing that we are going to be using for that is one of my all-time favorite products you guys probably already know, and it is BAM, some bloody scab. And then I'm just a really old eyeshadow brush, like the eyeshadow brushes we used to get like 12 years ago in makeup, those kind of makeup brushes. I'm basically dipping that in the bloody scab and putting that all over my fingers, all over the sides of my hand, inside the prosthetic, and I'm kind of thinning it out in some places, and I'm also leaving it a little bit thick in some places as well to make it look like it's thick, dark, coagulated blood. Really effective stuff. I swear, every single person needs this in their SFX kit. This stuff is amazing. I will forever and always say that. And here's just a slowed down video of kind of what it looks like. It's just so satisfying to use. I love it. And then, of course, like I said, just putting that kind of in between the bones to make it look like, you know, there's tendons and muscles that are just shining and bleeding and bleh, you know, all that stuff. The second to last thing we need to do is just add a little bit more of some blood gel. So I'm just using some red blood gel on, again, another disposable makeup sponge, and I'm just kind of tapping it around the area wherever I see any sort of like skin color or cotton that I forgot to paint over. I'm just kind of dabbing it over with that to make it look a little bit more juicy. Almost spilled again. So as I was looking at this, I was really happy with how bloody everything was looking, but the bones still looked a little bit dry. So I actually went in with a clear lip gloss. This is the gloss from Jeffree Star x Shane Dawson collab. It's the only clear gloss I have. And on an old eyeshadow brush, I am painting the clear gloss over top of the bones, and that made them look nice and wet and shiny from all like the plasma and stuff like that. It was really effective, and it actually worked really well. Alrighty guys, and here is how this makeup look turned out in the end. I am actually really happy with it, and I'm so shocked at how much fun I had with this, because like I said in the beginning, I really only like to do makeup looks on my face, but I don't know, this was a lot of fun, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out, especially for my first time. Make sure you guys go down and let me know what you think of it down in the comments. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my Halloween 2020 season. Let me know down below which look was your favorite out of the 5 that I did. I hope you all have a very safe and very happy Halloween. Eat lots of candy, watch lots of movies. It's a good time, best time of the year. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you go down and give it a huge thumbs up. But until then, I will see you very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye and happy Halloween.